Oh, as they're injured and you move on. I love that. Yo, we got the mirror match too. We got like Dark Isamu. This is a good color palette. Oh, jeez. Yo, he legitimately has, yeah, Mira Isamu. So he does have powered up moves. That's so dope. Oh, it looks like it at least. No, just mirror. It's just, yo, I'm sorry, just the blue flame. It looked like, yeah, okay, it does have the effect. I didn't notice the little spark effect on that charge attack at first. So it looked like he had a little extra bit that was extending out, like a little mini projectile. Legitimately, guys, I think the idea of a like mirror version, first of all, doing the, hey, if it's a mirror match, look, we're gonna reskin the character basically. So if it's Ken, then the mirror match for Ken would be versus Corey, and it would be like, you know, like a red-headed fucking Ken alternate basically. Games like Verdict Guilty do that. I would love to see more of that, or stuff like this. And the thing is, the ability to create, I guess, shadow characters, or whatever you want to call them, like whatever Smash Brothers calls them, just as a way to kind of like expand on your character set a bit. Like, I miss the days of having Shin Akuma, right? Like, I genuinely do. I miss being able to like do something in arcade mode to unlock a boss version of a character. Shin Akuma was something, and once again, and these things, yo, they don't even need to be like viable for tournament play or competitive play. I think that's the other thing. I don't really like to complain about the like esportsification of fighting games in recent years. But one of the things I do miss is that a lot of the design vision from fighting game developers, especially the bigger ones, is moving so far in that direction that we're losing out on some of these other things. Like, unlockable characters really sucks for tournament organizers and for competitive players who just want to play their character and have a tournament setup, right? But it also kind of sucks not to have that for the casual fans. Like, I kind of miss when Smash Brothers wasn't 149 characters. I kind of miss going through and playing with my favorite character and unlocking a new one that I wasn't expecting to be there. I kind of miss getting a random challenge at the end of my arcade run in Street Fighter 4. Here's the boss character that you can unlock and play with. And I also understand how much of a struggle it can be for indie game devs to like create a whole ass new character. Having a character type where you're like, look, it's Ken, but I do like wild EX moves. All of their stuff is just wild versions of itself, right? Maybe we do more of the mashup characters, like Seth from Street Fighter 4 is another good example, where you can take little bits and pieces of moves and rigged animations that you already have, if you're using a 3D model, be able to use that to build out a new character using some of already created assets. I wonder what the cost is. I've talked about this before, and I haven't really gotten a straight answer because it's a complicated answer. But I would love to see, like, what does it cost to make a, I've said it before, so a Shin King Row in Murfight. What would it take to get Arctic Queen Arctina or Arctic Queen Gigi in Murfight? That would be cool. Pocket Bravery did a lot of really good stuff with that, Kiro, 100%. Thank you for pointing that out. Pocket Bravery, their unlockable characters, they considered it. They understood that part of what they were making was they were selling you on the nostalgia of playing these games in the 90s. And part of that is the unlockables. It is the arcade mode special events, right? It's stuff like that. And they paid very close attention and made sure to incorporate that. Also gave an option for people like tournament organizers to just unlock it all. So they have it all, right? You'll see other developers have done a really good job. Monochromatic Hermit, the developer of Heatwave, does a great one of this, where it's a hidden toggle in the options menu that you can go to and you're like, unlock everything. Or you could do a survival mode challenge to unlock a character. You have to do it with a specific character and a specific assist. That's so much fun. Like, more discovery, man. More discovery that is not competitive discovery really needs to be there for a holistic fighting game. And yes, Griffey, I think you're absolutely right that maybe a reason that some of us like Kuso games so much and the old indie games is that we get this unlocking character feeling back, right? When you play, you never run out of new characters to try when you're playing these obscure fighters. Absolutely, man. One of my favorite things is the fact that I can pick up a random indie game or niche fighter, obscure fighter, and I can be like, there is actually no game facts for this. There's no wiki for it. No one has a dedicated move list for it, right? And you could find little blogs from 20 years ago that have some scraps of information, and you can start piecing it together. That discovery, man, the discovery of going and finding Marvel vs. Street Fighter, one of the SF vs. Marvel games, finding one of those for the first time, and maybe playing against someone who knows how to guarantee which assist you want, that the hidden assists in the Marvel vs. games, that's stuff that you can find today with games that have already been out for 30 years, right? But the fact is, not a lot of people have really explored them in that way. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. That's one of the things that draws a lot of players to these styles of games, these old games, the niche and the indie. Discovery, man. That's big. The hidden assist in Marvel 1, they were so much fun. Dude, someone blew my mind. I was like, you can get Nash? Like, you can get like Shadow Charlie or whatever? Like, come on, dude. That's dope. I want more of that in my life, man. I want more of it. Maybe a part of it is that I'm not as much of a competitive player anymore, but we're missing out, man. Some of that shit is great. It made fighting games click for a lot of people. It is extremely hard to do in this day and age with the speed that information travels at, with the data mining of games, with the ability to go in really in depth, especially if you have a dedicated community or a big enough community. It's really hard to reproduce that. Not impossible, right? And maybe it won't last as long, right? Maybe that, and that's part of the issue, is that the exploration phase is so much shorter than it used to be, that it feels like things get tired quicker. So going to a series of games that have no real information base for them gives you that extended experience. So that's a good question. What is a way you can extend that discovery experience?